Tuesday. I just had to say that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Weekly Wrestling Heat. We are back with another episode. I had to do that. I have my co-host Moise here today. We are back for another quick episode.
Shoot me the link on Messenger for people to watch us. Yes, we randomly just got on today. I think we were planning on getting on tomorrow, but we were just like, screw it. Yeah, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna do like a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of SmackDown, a little bit of Raw, and go into our War Game predictions. Which I haven't watched today's NXT yet. Have you, Elias?
I have not. I need to go back and watch it tonight.
So we'll be at the same disadvantage of not knowing what teams are starting the War Games matches, which is always the heel team.
It seems like it, but this time it isn't a heel team. I think this time it's OGs versus the newcomers. So that is one thing I like about this year's War Games. That's kind of, it's sad to say because of the fact that it feels this way, but it's kind of like it. I feel like it's gonna be like the passing of the torch for NXT from the veterans.
I think the women are gonna win. The women veterans.
What is it? The women veterans, because it's Cora Jade's part of that one, so she's still a new one.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right there.
So it's like for the guys, that's what it's gonna be like. But for the women's, it's a little mixed because you still have Toxic Attraction, Mandy's there, she's the veteran. You have and then you have Raquel, Io. Oh no, yeah. Is it Raquel, Io?
Yeah. I'm trying to send this link out to someone. Yeah, so it's Io, Raquel, Cora, and Kaylee Ray.
Yeah. That's it versus Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. And then the match, the card itself is starting to become pretty cool. I like what's going on. But let's get into. There's actually two topics I do want to talk about this week. The promo from last week's AEW with MJF and CM Punk.
Okay.
And then the promo between Edge and The Miz, because we were talking about it a lot today.
And Matt is wrong in every aspect that he's speaking. Because I'm in another wrestling group as well. I'm just pouring around in these wrestling groups. And it's a bunch of AEW diehards, and they all thought it was a great promo as well.
So I'll put it like this. I thought that the promo between CM Punk and I said this in our chat, that the promo between CM Punk and MJF was expected. Everybody was waiting on this moment to happen since CM Punk joined AEW. When Edge came out on Monday, it was more of a I honestly thought it was gonna be somebody like Austin Theory or somebody along those lines.
I thought it was gonna be AJ, but then I was like, okay, they're probably gonna hold AJ off until Mania.
Yeah.
And then I think even this Edge and Miz story, I think they're gonna hold off for a while. I think we're gonna get a mixed tag first.
I think so, but I think we're gonna get a lot of mind games being played on both parts. And this is where my saying that this is where the Miz's professionalism and Miz's storytelling comes into play, because he knows how to tell a story, and people like given his name was dropped on national TV for the competitor, but I don't think CM Punk meant it in a kind of like a dissing way, but he meant to give in a low key kind of like he gave the Miz's props in his own kind of way, because everybody knows the Miz's story. Somebody that came from Tough Enough, that got shummed out by the locker room for being how
forgot his lines on the Diva shirt, kicked out of the locker room. And if you haven't listened to the Wrestling Inc. Raw recap, Jimmy Corderas, the ex-referee, was on, and he kind of talked about the backstage incident where he was like, I told Miz, I'm like, yo, let the boys handle it. You'll be fine. So that was pretty cool to hear him on there. So yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed and here's the thing: people are up in arms because of this. People are not up in arms because of the fact that that somebody that AEW threw a shot at WWE, and then people are like, well, why isn't nobody from the WWE crew saying anything now that WWE did it? I mean, come
I
on,
don't think people
that's
are up in arms. I think it's only Matt.
no, it is. No, but here's the thing. I follow this TikTok guy on this guy on TikTok who basically said it's kind of ironic that nobody's saying anything about about Edge kind of like saying basically throwing a shot back at AEW. I'm like, well, I mean, in reality, when you look at it, AEW does it more than WWE, and for them to acknowledge the fact that that something was said about the Miz on another program makes sense, because why are you not going to take advantage of that?
Yeah, and like AEW, they've been around 3 years. I would say it averages out to them dropping a WWE reference or a WWE insult. If we don't even count being the elite, I would say it comes out to like at least twice a month.
Yeah, about so, because it's either the other channel or the competition, or then you got Tony on Twitter throwing basically saying that, at least we don't release people. By the way, Big Swole and AEW came to terms today, mutually parting ways. She left AEW.
Our okay, our I think that's the way they're going to go about these releases. I think it's going to be exactly what I said in your chat. Another bit of news is a lot of contracts are coming up at the end of the year for AEW. It's a lot of their lower card, but this is what I think is going to happen. They're either mutually going to part ways, or it's going to be a pay per appearance, go work the indies.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think they're gonna basically say anything too much about it. I mean, they're gonna try to keep it low key with these AEW
Let's
and
be
this
real. A lot of
person.
people hate on Joey Janela. I'm a Joey Janela fan. He's probably making more on the indies than he is at AEW.
I haven't seen it, so I haven't seen him in AEW TV for a minute now. So it's
The
like,
last I remember is when they started that Hangman push again, like when they reset the Hangman push, when he
yeah,
did that stupid pin with the legs up, you know.
yeah, that's the last time that I actually saw a full
Well, they did the
Janela.
Sunny Kiss feud with him too, right?
Yeah, but I don't know where that ended. I guess because I
No,
wasn't
but
paying
that's what I'm
attention.
saying is like, I so he's still working for AEW Dark and Elevation. I think he's making more money on the indies because when I see
Yeah,
like he's got a match on the indies, literally even on my Instagram, I'll see promotions from Cali and Wisconsin that are like Joey Janela versus Brian Cage is the main. Brian Cage is another guy I think is making more on the indies.
yeah.
Which I want to see what happens with Brian Cage. I don't know how you don't know how to use that guy. Some people are saying that him and Archer are teasing a tag team. No, I wouldn't do that. Um, I think Cage is. I think Cage is solid for the Indies. I think he's solid for Impact. I think he'd be solid in WWE. I just don't think he's a good fit at AEW with the way
I
they've
think
been
that
booking him.
according, there's rumors out there, and I think even Melissa Santos, who's his wife, kind of was like that they kind of gave him with her comments again when she said that he wasn't being used properly or some along those contacts, because I don't remember exactly what was said, but that brought him some heat. Then she cleared it up, and no, like that's not what happened. So it's like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of it's basically they're getting overloaded with stars. They just don't know what to do with yet.
One thing
They're
I
trying
will
to
say
do.
about Brian Cage, and I've said this before, I've had a great experience. I've met the dude 2 times now. I love how even when he's not on the card, he's tweeting about the card. Like if
Yeah.
you go on his Twitter during the AEW or the one I noticed was the last pay per view they had. He was
Full Gear.
Yeah, Full Gear. He was tweeting about every match, and I I I think if you split Wardlow off, I think Wardlow and Cage could be a good feud. I don't know who I want to see as the heel in that, but I just think Brian Cage is a way better face than a heel. Even if they did something like WWE did with Bobby Lashley this week, like show Brian Cage coming up through the Indies, have a backstage interview with him where he talks about Canyon being his trainer and how Canyon tragically committed suicide. Like if they went that route with it, I think it could work better too.
Yeah. But anything else that stood out to you from AEW last week? I don't know. I really enjoyed the promo. The rest of it was kind of it was there.
I am getting more on the Daniel Bryan heel train now. I know I said I'm just gonna wait and see. So I am liking it. It's getting me intrigued. I think the Dante Martin storyline has way more people intrigued than they think that it does.
I actually was intrigued by that little story because I thought he was going to actually decline joining the Team Taz. So that caught my attention. I would say it was pretty cool. It was pretty decent. Anyways, I did enjoy the Colt Cabana versus Bryan Danielson match. I thought that it showed how good Colt Cabana is in the ring as well. Because I think that's one thing that we still haven't seen yet fully from Colt. And I thought that match with Danielson actually showed how good he is technically, versatility in the ring and stuff, and able to tell a story too.
And this week he's going off against Alan Angels. I think he can destroy.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting. It say so the least.
Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Let's touch on this. I'm probably the biggest Jamie Hayter mark around. I really like her look. I think she's fun in the ring. I like her real background that she had with the MMA. I think splitting her away. And possibly putting her with like another I think her and Layla Hirsch could be a great tag team because they both have the similar background.
I would agree on that. I think I like the seats that are being sent as well. The seeds that are being set for this match. It's going to be a slow build to it, which I like. But when it happens, the payoff, I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know who's going to dethrone Britt Baker yet. But if I could say anybody, and if they do it perfectly, I think that this would be one of the storylines that would lead up to it.
I think it's going to be a Thunder Rosa. I just think they're building it very slowly. So I think it's going to be Thunder Rosa, and they're building it very slowly. I think Jade Cargill's winning that TBS title, as much as a lot of people don't want to hear that.
No, that's going to happen regardless. I don't think there's any ifs and buts about that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it about AEW. Anything else you want to top on the subject with CM Punk and MJF? I thought that the zingers were great. I thought
it was a good promo. We all expected it, definitely. That's why I prefer the Edge and Midge, because it was more out of left field. I'm not saying the MJF promo with CM Punk wasn't bad. I'm saying it was great. I give it a 8.5, 9 out of 10. I don't think it's the greatest promo ever. No, I think it's a very, very good promo. I think Punk's done better with Cena and better with Triple H, but it's only been 1 week, so let it build.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I thought for AEW this was one of the best promos in the company's history. you've seen promos where one person got the most out of it, but I think this one kind of was even. With even the name dropping of John Cena, Triple H, with even CM Punk firing back saying that he's the less famous Miz, and saying basically the only way that you'll get up there is if you wait long enough for Tony Khan to have a daughter. That I thought that those were kind of look those singers that you would look for, but I think I read somewhere last week saying that they feel that that CM Punk was still holding back on his promos as well. Well, specifically on that one.
If they're gonna build, I don't think this is gonna be I think this is gonna be a long build. I think this is gonna be a 3-4 month build. So we'll see where it goes. So they gotta play their cards right. I don't think it's gonna be a match they're gonna give away on TV.
Well, look at the speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Angel, MJF was holding back.
I agree. I agree. But I think there's stuff Punk blacklisted from him for him to say.
There's a lot of stuff that was said that, like in a regular promo battle, like if it was somebody other than Punk, I think you would have seen that would have been the end of it. But in this one, like they were so calculated with they were so calculated on what they were saying that it was kind of out there. So
it was more storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
Which I think there is a list of stuff that Tony told MJF, like, yo, we're not going to touch on the Colt Cabana stuff. You're not going to mention his wife right now. I think there is stuff that they held back on.
Yeah, and it interests you on this build is specifically because the mind game started with CM Punk, as we talked about last week, and now it's kind of going to see who basically it's a who could do it bigger and who can throw the most bombs out there before it gets physical. So compared to going into Raw, compared to the Edge and the Miz segment, it came, like you said, it came out of left field because we didn't know that the Miz was going to be back this week. So that was, specifically with Marie. So it was specifically a surprise to see the Miz on Raw. I know people are like, well, it was blah blah blah, but no, it was something interesting.
And one thing Raw did, and we'll see if SmackDown follows suit. I like how Raw is building the day one, and it's 4 weeks away. It's not like thrown together like they did with Survivor Series.
Yeah,
they're building the day one. You got the main event already from the Raw side. You see that they're probably going to do something with the Profits and Omos and AJ split. You see that Damian Priest and Apollo have a program, but you see that Theory is in the background somewhere too. So I like that. I think Liv and Becky is going to happen at day one too. I think we're going to get a screwy finish on Raw.
So the reason that Monday's Raw match is actually having even more significance now is because of the fact that that match on Monday is an anniversary where Lita and Trish Stratus had their match. So it's a big moment that's gonna happen, and it's gonna basically.
You think it's gonna main event?
I think they might make it the main event of Raw next week. I really think that they are gonna make this.
I hope Liv has some offense we haven't seen then, because I think with her current repertoire of moves, I don't see that pulling a big number.
And I think that I think that they're finally pushing a person that's liked by the WWE universe or universally, because everybody loves.
Well, everyone loves Bianca too.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
So, but it's you're not pushing the same program around with everybody. Just like on SmackDown, you had the Charlotte and Toni Storm. I wasn't expecting Toni Storm. I was expecting Sasha Banks.
Oh, they made Toni Storm look so bad on SmackDown, bro.
Yeah, I hated that. I like her comment though. That she said backstage, so she was like, "It was a flavor that I liked." Anyways,
I hope. Actually, I know. Just from the report that came out about Charlotte, she's gonna make Tony Storm look like $1 million though in the ring.
I already see it. Even after that segment on Friday, I think that that match, whenever they do end up having the match, it's going to be pretty good. I will say this: that reports are saying that the 10 women, the Team Liv versus Team Becky match, was well received backstage and well received by the people. Everybody liked it. It made a lot of people look strong.
I think that's good. I think that's good news for Doudrop and Bianca's feud. I think that they'll get a pay-per-view match, hopefully, out of it. If you're not going to do the tag, let's talk about the women's tag titles for a bit. I feel like whenever someone wins it, I feel like I already know who they're going to drop it to. Like, I'm telling you right now, Carmella and Zelina are dropping it to Naomi and Aaliyah. I'll tell you right now.
I can see that happening. I mean, not to sound. I mean, not to sound. I thought the tag titles were just specifically on Raw though.
No, it's traveling belt. And I think once they could remember, Rhea and Nikki Ash were on SmackDown against Shotzi and Tegan before Tegan got released.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then I think once Naomi and Aaliyah win it, they'll probably lose it to Natalya and Tamina or Doudrop and Tamina. Like, I think that's the one thing I don't like about the title, and it's mainly because we don't have that many women tag teams. But yeah, I think Doudrop and Bianca Belair should be on the pay-per-view. I would not mind 3 women's matches on this pay-per-view card where it's Becky, Liv, maybe put a stipulation on it. Bianca, Doudrop, where you make a number 1 contenders match, and Charlotte and Tony.
I can see that, and I think that I'll agree with you. I think it's somewhat of a screw finish is going to happen on Monday. If it doesn't, it would surprise me if Liv won the title on Monday. And I mean that would totally come out of left field if it happens.
I don't think Liv wins the title.
I don't think so neither, but like I said, it would surprise the crap out of everybody if she does.
I think you're close enough to WrestleMania where you let Becky hold it and just lose it to Bianca at Mania.
That I think that's the eventual plan of it.
And then I think I hope it's Raquel and Charlotte because this Mania card
it's not coming together at all. It's not coming together at all.
Okay. Yeah, like Roman.
Well, given
Brock, something's happening there.
Well, given we're still in December, sometimes we see stuff coming together in January. Like last year, we already knew that it was going to be, you know, Drew's time or Lashley, or you already knew certain people were going to be in certain spots on the card. This year, you already knew that Roman's going to be on top of the card. You don't know who's going against. Big E, we don't know how long he's going to keep the title because, to be honest, I'm actually excited about this triple threat between him, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens.
I think they're booking Big E so bad. Yeah, I do not like the booking of Big E. But that can change. Like I said, day one, he could have a triumphant victory where he wins very clean against those two, and maybe KO rides into the sunset to his buddies.
Or he stays
around. Yeah, I think KO and Damian Priest would be a banger at Mania for the US title. But I also don't like the booking with Damian Priest. I don't like this angel devil cross he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
I think his character is fine.
I don't know. I don't know if this was a him call or this was a call that that I don't know if it was a him call or I don't know if it was.
It seems like a Bruce Pritchard call.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
yeah. Other than that, Raw. I think we're gonna get the Mysterios at Mania. Um, I want to see how they do that. I think one will eliminate the other at the Rumble, and that'll set it
I
up.
think I don't really want to see that. I don't know why. I just don't. I'm not excited about that.
You don't want to see because you want Latino World Order, which isn't gonna happen.
I can see Legado coming.
They're too busy making out with Javon Quinn and trying to get him on a date with Elektra.
I enjoy that though. That's good storytelling. No, I'm playing. I like them though. I will say this: Austin Theory is the next golden boy of WWE.
Yeah, it
For
seems
him,
like he's getting that Randy Orton treatment, you know? Um, he's backstage with Vince. He's getting slapped in the face. I said today, I think we're going to get Austin Theory versus Shane McMahon at Mania.
I don't know, but it
Okay,
would be
how did his segment with Vince end? He got slapped in the face, right?
yeah.
He's a cocky kid. You don't think like eventually in a month or two he just lays Finch out, takes a selfie, and that causes Shane to come back?
It could, but there's no telling
And
exactly what.
I think Austin Theory is the type of match that Shane can still have because he's not that much of a hard hitter. He's still very young and agile, so he could bump for Shane, you know?
I can see that. I'm interested to see where everything is going to go for. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen next with that. So um, I don't know. I'm interested to see. That's pretty much it from Raw. I mean, it main event was good. It was different. I would say that they did more wrestling in the first 20 minutes than they did promos. So I think that's a change for Raw that they did that was positive. So I think they're slowly
Where are
starting
they going with Finn
to.
Balor?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's one thing that kind of is up in the air for me because, like, being a Finn Balor fan, I don't like the fact that he lost to Seth twice already, or he lost to Seth and then he got his ass kicked the week before. So
So I think. Let me ask you this now: do you think any of the releases after what we've seen are going to be at the Rumble?
there's no telling. Probably NXT ones, yes.
No, no,
As far as
no releases.
yeah, that's what I've said. Like, I don't think there's going to be any. Wait, they just got released. I don't
Yes,
see any of them coming back.
I think Morrison and I are in the Rumble. I would put money on it.
Nia already moved away from wrestling.
I
There's her.
think that's exactly why. That's exactly why I think she is. I am willing to make a wager that Morrison and Nia will both be at Rumble. And I think we're still going to get Morrison and Miz at Mania. I think they're going to build it up with the release. It's fucked up, but I honestly think they're going to build it up with the release.
I don't think they'll call him back, or I don't think he'll come. I don't know. That one's a hard one to call.
I didn't think he was going to come back here until he tweeted last night.
Yeah, but he tweeted towards Edge for saying what he said, being pro Miz. It wasn't against
Exactly. I'm still Miz's boy. So you can have that breakup at Rumble. He could be playing facade until Rumble, right?
I don't think so. If it happens, then I'll give you your props, but I don't see it happening.
Let me tell you like this. Miz is number 1 through 7 in the Rumble, somewhere in the first quarter. Morrison comes out at 15, and Miz is excited to see him. Miz is having a decent run. He's 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in. They eliminate one or two people together. Miz turned around. Morrison throws him out. Miz just went this Rumble 30 minutes to get thrown out by his ex-tag team partner who got released because of him. Is that a story that would intrigue you? As much as you don't think that would happen.
It would intrigue me, but like I said, I doubt it happens.
Because here's the thing. If you have Edge and Miz at day one, you got, even if you have the mixed tag at day one and the match at Rumble, and they're both in the Rumble, you got to split them apart going into Mania.
You're really high hopes that this is going to happen, and I like I said, I don't see it.
I'm more confident. I'm 99% sure it happened with Nia.
I can see Nia, but Morrison, I don't see him. Because not only did they release him, then a week or two, a couple of days, months.
They released his wife first, yeah.
Yeah, and then they released him after he came back from the European tour. So
I don't know. I'm just telling you, that's me fantasy booking it. I've said weirder stuff that has came true.
Yeah, I know. That's where I'm like, if it happens, I'll give you your props. If it doesn't, then all right, let's get into predicting War Games this Sunday. Sunday fun day. War Games 2021 from NXT 2.0. The matches that we have so far, and we'll just go in random order. The Cameron Grimes versus.
Don't tell me who won the tag team match either. Just say versus TBA, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson, hair versus hair match.
I think Cameron Grimes has to win. I think he's still over with the crowd, and I think this is Vince's like, we're gonna put you in a stupid storyline. Let's see if you're still over, and I think he's still over.
Oh no, he's got his promo the last promo he made was pretty good. I can't lie.
That's what I'm saying. He's still over.
Yeah.
I think
I agree. I think Cameron Grimes wins that one, and he embarrasses Duke Hudson. Imperium versus TBA. I don't know. I think all roads lead back to MSK or MSK getting called up.
I think Imperium wins and MSK debuts with their guru.
Yeah. Roderick Strong versus Joe Gacy for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. I think Roddy's going to keep it. I don't see him.
I feel like they want to get rid of that Cruiserweight tag.
Title?
Not the title, but like the name, like the weight limit that comes with it. I think they want to get rid of that. And I think it's gonna become a secondary, a third title. Same, and I think Gacy's gonna.
Okay. The women's NXT War Games match: Raquel, Io, Cora, Kaylee Ray versus Dakota and Toxic Attraction. You know what? I think that the faces win this one. Or Raquel, Io, Cora, Kaylee Ray.
Same, and I think Raquel will debut at the Rumble.
I can see that happening. All right. OGs versus the newcomers. Tommaso, Johnny, Pete Dunne, LA Knight versus Braun, Carmelo, Grayson Waller, and Tony D'Angelo. Is this the passing of the torch that we kind of talked about for the men?
I think the faces still win.
But there's no faces or heels in this one because
D'Angelo and Carmelo are not faces, Elias.
Braun is not a heel.
Is he?
He's plain not a heel.
Why did he come and defend the bad guys last week?
And then Pete Dunne and LA Knight aren't faces neither.
I think LA Knight with the Grayson Waller stuff is definitely a face now. One thing I will say, this is such a nitpick. I love the way they're going with LA Knight character. I hated it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he was hating on the hot dog handshake, and then last week he's defending it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I hated. But I love LA Knight as a face. I think there's way more opportunities for him as a face. I think you could eventually somehow come back to him and Cameron, even if you want to, at the tag team. But I will say, the OGs win.
I can see that happening unless they're gonna make Braun Breaker look like $1 million at that NXT on that match.
You can look like $1 million and still take everyone's finisher.
Yeah, because I mean, being honest, this is I think this is gonna be. I'm sticking with the OGs because of the fact that you have a DIY reunion, and then you already know what those three can do with Tommaso, Johnny, and Pete Dunne in a War Games match. And then adding LA Knight to the mix has like kind of that powerhouse in a sense. And it's a good combination to be a fucking not epic disaster, but being a freaking total demolition of the newcomers.
I'm
But I
digging
think,
Grayson Waller too, by the way.
huh?
I'm really digging Grayson Waller.
I'm digging all of them. I mean, it people are crapping on this new NXT. Like I'm looking at Twitter, and people are crapping on this new NXT, and I'm actually enjoying the product for what it is. It has a developmental brand that's building up the stars for tomorrow. Yes, we still
It's
have
characters. People want to complain, oh, wrestling doesn't have characters. When you get characters, you're complaining still.
Yeah. So it's like now that they're doing stuff, and it's still the matches are good, the storylines are decent. They're not nothing has really dropped with the exception that they're more focused on the new generation. So like if they're focused on the new generation, why crap on it? Like that they wanted something developmental and it went back to what it was, a developmental brand. And even though it sucks, but I mean they're making it work. So like I'm enjoying the women's division in NXT. Like even Mandy was like wasn't this active on the main roster, and now she's freaking kicking ass. Like she's having great matches in NXT, so I'm not complaining about it at all. So
I think the OGs win. I think I pray LA Knight and Raquel get called up at the Rumble.
I hope so too. I really hope so too. I think that this is going to be.
If Morrison's not back at the Rumble, I want LA Knight to be the guy to eliminate Miz.
That is a fact of life. That is a specific specific feud I want to see. LA Knight versus The Miz.
I need some of these people to get called up though, because it scares me. Like opening Wrestling Inc. and I'm like, man, I hope there's no more releases. You know?
Yeah, that's the only thing that still kind of scares me in a sense. So, but
a lot of people are liking. Speaking of call-ups, a lot of people are liking the Xia Li story.
Yeah, but it's the way they're presenting it is pretty legit compared to the way that she was presented for when she was part of the Tian Shaw faction. Like they're presenting it as she's an actual warrior and stuff. So I'm not opposed to it. I like it. I like what the presentation that they're doing.
And it's a strong female character, which I think we have that, but you can never have too much of it.
Yeah.
Like, so, who do you think Xia Li's first feud is going to be?
She's on SmackDown, right? Or Raw?
Yeah, SmackDown.
I think she's going to go after. Hear me out. She's going to go after Naomi.
So you think she debuts as a heel?
I think she debuts as a heel.
I think she gets held back and she goes after Sonya. Sonya's going after every race. I mean, she hasn't gone after an Asian woman yet.
We'll see.
I would love Natalia Shayna and Xia Li.
I would like to see that too. But I wasn't the last time they faced each other that she ended up putting her to sleep.
No, that was Mercedes Martinez. He kicked her a little too hard.
Okay.
No, what I think is going to happen, Elias, is I think Shonya's going to keep pushing back Xia Li's debut.
Yeah.
And Xia Li is going to side with Naomi and Aaliyah. And we're going to get a 6-woman between Shonya, Natalia, and Shayna versus Naomi, Aaliyah, and Xia Li. And the thing right there is, yes, it's a cheap pop, but Xia Li's over from the get-go. And Xia Li and Shonya could be fired too.
That too, because Sonya does have that MMA background too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I want to get into NXT, watching NXT, because I'm hearing great reviews about the first and last match of NXT, which are the advantage ones for.
Who were the 2 guys that got picked by the fans?
Gargano and Breaker.
Ooh.
Okay. From what I'm seeing here, everybody's like 2 thumbs up.
All right. I'm going to go watch it. We'll be back next Tuesday or Wednesday. Anything else, Elias?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Follow us on our social media platforms at Weekly Wrestling Heat on Facebook, Instagram, and Weekly Wrestling Heat TV on Twitch. We'll be back next Tuesday or Wednesday with another fun-filled episode, basically talking about the aftermath of War Games, and also talking about this week's AEW, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get another promo battle from Punk and MJF, see if it's better than last week's, if it happens, unless they're going to hold off on it. But yeah, from everybody here at Weekly Wrestling Heat, we are officially out. Peace.